And I am going to ask a pretty hot question here, and I think we're going to start with Senator Calvo on this one. Do you support the legalization of medical marijuana? Strictly for the sick and dying? If yes, how would you regulate this? If not, if no, why not?
I'm not for it. If the Food and Drug Administration that has the necessary resources says that this is the way to go, then I'm for it. One of the concerns I have is that if you were to legalize medical marijuana now, it's not only in the terms of whether it is a health benefit. I want to hear from the experts at FDA, but also managing it. We have enough problems now with medications that are not in control, at least in the past at the Guam Memorial Hospital, but also with illicit drugs. If we are now to have centers for growth of marijuana in Guam, do you see what the potential, if we do not have the proper police enforcement and regulatory controls, this could easily become a black market. And so I have some very, very strong concerns. I'm open to it, and again, as governor, I will work with our legislature and with the federal authorities and seeing what can be done to give better care options to those that are ill.
Thank you for that question. You know that not only the FDA, but the military and the federal government moving into the direction of allowing this to happen through a doctor's prescription. So yes, but here's the situation. They said to put our money where our mouth is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard Senator Eddie Calvo tell the employees out there, Guam employees, we're going to give you your pay raise. But why did you vote no on the budget to give them the pay raise? Both of you, you voted no. But you can't have it. You cannot have it both ways. You can't come up here and be marketed to be governor of Guam and say one thing and do another. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been governor for 8 years. I am not a marketed person. What you see is what you get. If I stand crooked and I stand looking old, that's who I am. But you know what you're going to get from Carl Gutierrez. You know what you're going to get from Carl Gutierrez. What I say, I do it. But don't say, give it to them, but the credit to this man that did the budget and voted yes. Not you guys. Don't tell the people out there that you're so great.
Yeah, I remember the experience of my opponent. 8 years as governor, he increased the deficit to $314 million. Poor Governor Camacho and the people of Guam had to inherit that, and he left GWA, GPA, the hospital, the port, the airport, nearly bankrupt, Department of Education, unauditable. You know what? I was 3 years in Ways and Means Chair. In those 3 years, we had a surplus, which means is I ratified a budget, and at the end of the fiscal year, more money came into the government of Guam. But in those budgets, we understood the need to keep our top quality employees, so we got pay raises for the teachers and the nurses. The law enforcement officers, again, they got their raises later on in a Democratic-controlled budget. I helped with the amendment. But I must remind you this year, right now, this budget that, of course, Frank Uggan's a part of, is running at a $60 million shortfall. Last year's budget, with the Democratic majority had a $20 million shortfall. You can have your cake and eat it, but you have to do it in a Calvo-Tenorio administration, because obviously my opponent can't do it. They broke the budget, and they didn't get the pay raises in those days. In my time as a senator, we had a balanced budget, and we gave pay raises to the hard-working government of Guam employees. You'll see that in a Calvo-Tenorio administration.
Ladies and gentlemen, I became governor, and I found a $206 million deficit. The first year was great. We reduced it by $120 million. Then guess what happened? You had the Korean airline crash in August. You had another typhoon, 3 or 4 typhoons. You had the Asian economic crisis burst, the economy burst. You had the SARS, and people were not coming in. Korean Airlines pulled out because they don't want to fly here anymore. They couldn't get passengers. You said I picked it up to 300 and some. Why don't you look at the financials? My administration was the only administration that reduced the deficit. Carl Camacho brought it up to almost $500 some million. And don't think that you're going to be proud of that. Come on, guys, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah, again, that distorted rearview mirror. There was nearly $100 million increase in the deficit. Joe Atta gave him a deficit, and he didn't give it to him. There were some tough economic times. But understanding the tough economic times, he didn't help. He grew the deficit at $314 million. And nearly all the agencies were bankrupt.
You know what? We want to be able to do this right. If people are confused about the system, we got to do this right.
Just a moment here. I think we're having an order problem.
I have an opponent that likes to break rules, as you can see.
No. The next question is the next one.
Mr. Gutierrez.
We got to take control of this if it's not doing right.
I believe this round of questioning was your first. You had a chance to get up. Now they can choose between the two of them which wants to. No, this is the next round of questions.
We had 4 responses to this answer. Please, let's keep track. We're here with rules. He answered, I answered, he answered, and I answered for the senator. That was it.
No.
Otherwise, you allow me up there.
No, this is how it went. Excuse me. This is how it went. This is how it went. This is the third to the last question. Mr. Gutierrez, Mr. Calvo had the opportunity to go first for a minute and a half. You spoke second. Now they can decide who can go.
He went already.
Did he go? He went in your stead? I'm sorry. It is Mr. Aguon's turn. It is Mr. Aguon's turn. It is Mr. Aguon's turn. He did go. It's Mr. Aguon's turn. Excuse me, Senator. Your time was done. We have to defer to Mr. Aguon. I apologize.
Okay, can we quiet it down, please? Let's quiet it down.
Hang on 1 second. No, I apologize. We had a couple of questions that bled together. It was my error. I apologize. We'll defer to Mr. Aguon, please, if you don't mind to start the clock for a minute and a half, Senator Aguon.
Just wait a minute. He spoke already. He just spoke.